So we're going to have a session today. We're going to discuss how you prepare for Job Fest. So Job Fest, for information, is UM's Career Fair, which is an annual event. So this year we're going to have our Job Fest on the 14th and 15th of May. 14th and 15th of May. So the purpose of today's talk is to give you some ideas on how to prepare for this Job Fest, to make the Job Fest meaningful and most beneficial for you. Now, as I said before, we're going to have our Job Fest 14th and 15th of February of 2025, which is going to take place at our DTC. So it's going to be a 2-day affair beginning from 10 a.m. and ending at 4 p.m. every day. So you can register before the event so that we know, we can record how many people going there. But together with that, on the day itself, you may be required to record your attendance. We want to keep track of how many visitors we had we're going to have for this year's Job Fest. For your information, last year, we held our Job Fest similarly in May, and we had about 4,000 visitors for both days. So it's our annual career fair, which is going to feature about 80 plus top employers from MNCs, SMEs, and then we have GLCs, and also internationally, we will have industry or companies from China and also from Singapore. Meaning that the industry or the companies the firms that we brought in this time are going to be quite substantial in terms of their names, their branding. So we are going to have CIMB, we're going to have Ernst & Young Consulting, Huawei, Maxis, Mitsui, Proton, Sunway Group, and many more. The names that you are quite familiar with, and I'm sure this will be quite exciting for you guys as well. Okay. We don't want you to go there without preparation, because if you go there without preparing beforehand, you may not be able to enjoy the most what we can offer from our Job Fest. You may not get our purpose of organizing Job Fest, which is we want you guys to at least secure an internship or secure a job during Job Fest, or at least get yourselves known among the employers during the Job Fest. So for your information, Job Fest or UM's Career Fair is organized by GECC. GECC stands for Graduate Employability and Career Center. So this is our team. I'm not going to explain in detail, but you're going to see us on site that day together with our GCC squad or our Job Fest helpers during that day. Now, just to give you a motivation why you should come to Job Fest. Okay, first of all, we know that Job Fest gives you a very good opportunity to network with industry. So that's the point, or that's the moment in your study whereby the industry comes to UM in a big scale, rather than what we do nowadays is we organize industry talks or industry visits. We go to one company and then followed by another company individually. But this Job Fest allows you to visit many booths at once. Okay? And at the same time, it gives you the opportunity to get to know them, opportunity to connect directly with hiring managers and also recruiters from leading companies across multiple industries. So that is when you have on one site or one venue, for instance, banks such as CIMB, Maybank, one similar or one common venue. You don't have to go to many places to meet with them. Yeah, so you can come to our Job Fest on 14 and 15 and meet as many as 80 employers at once. And then Job Fest is a platform for you to showcase yourself. Showcase means for you to promote yourself. Imagine yourself as a product. You are here in UM for 3.5 years or for 4 years. At the end of your study, you are a product of UM. So you want to showcase yourself. You want to highlight your abilities. You want to highlight that you are one of UM's future graduates in a half year's time or 1 year's time. Okay, to the industry that's waiting outside. So you want to showcase yourself. You want them to know that you are available upon your graduation. You want to make yourself known lah to your industry. And not just that, okay, besides pushing yourself or promoting yourself, you also will be able, okay, during job fairs to gain valuable insights, meaning that you can get market intelligence, you can get information, okay, from recruiters, from hiring managers, who otherwise you won't be able to meet kan, on a daily basis. So this is your opportunity to gain as much information as possible. And ultimately, we say that job fairs can lend you your next career opportunity. So some of you may have worked part-time, or you may have worked before. So we say here, job fairs is a good place for you to land your next job, okay, your next job. So if you come to our job fairs, you'll be able to, for instance, before this you are you are an engineering student. You think that your career is just going to be in engineering. If you come to job fairs, you may be surprised that there are some industries that require, for instance, an accounting company, accounting firm, a consultancy firm, yeah, requiring someone who is not from accounting background. So it might surprise you, you know. Okay, so that's where that is the purpose of going to job fairs, so that you can explore other avenues or other routes to your future career. Because sometimes some of you, okay, your current academic program is not your first choice, and you may feel trapped, or you may feel there's no future. I have no interest in this field. So why not come to job fairs and explore the alternative careers from available other than your field that may be more up your alley, more up your area of interest. Now we come to the gist of this talk, which is how to prepare for job fairs. Okay. Now, first of all, you must get your CV or resume ready. Now, some of you may ask, what's the difference between CV and resume? Now, basically, okay, strictly speaking, CV is a longer version of the resume. Resume is normally 1 or 2 pages. Okay, but for us at this stage, if you say CV, resume, okay, we may mean the same thing, which is 1 to 2 pages, okay, summary of yourself, of your professional experience, of your academic experience, of your of your skills. So that is what is meant by CV or resume. You must prepare a professional and updated CV. Itu dia. Okay, so if you are still unsure what a CV looks like, you can easily Google nowadays. If you are on LinkedIn, you will see some good samples of CV that you can emulate lah, you can tiru lah. Now, you must tailor. So what is one thing to prepare a professional or updated CV? You must also tailor your CV for different industries if this is relevant to you. For instance, just now, the example that I gave you, you may be an engineering student, but you have no interest to work in the engineering field. So prepare a CV that is meant for non-engineering industry. Okay, maybe banking, or maybe from construction, if needed. So just prepare that if you are interested to explore some a career outside or beyond your field of study. Then, okay, this is very important. I know you guys are semua ni orang EE lah. You don't like to have paper documents, but please, on that day itself, you must bring multiple printed copies. And here it says recommended 10 to 15 copies. Okay, even though there are 80 booths, okay, 80 pamer, 80 booths on that day, okay, 15 copies are quite enough, I think. Besides that, what is needed is the last point, to save a digital copy on your phone, and you can email the recruiters if you run out of physical CVs, okay, or physical resumes. The physical resumes are important because it can serve as your calling card, business card. Okay, sometimes if you introduce yourself to someone without a document, without something, without a business card, without your resume, okay, people tend to forget about you. But if you give them a physical copy of your resume, okay, and if the other person, the hiring manager or the person at the booth looks and discusses with you your resume, they may remember you. Okay, that's what you want to do on a day which has 2,000 visitors per day, 4,000 visitors for the whole 2 days. Kan? You want yourself to stand out, betul tak? So that's why, okay, I would advise you to print as many as 15 copies of your resume on that day and bring the resume during your visit to Job Fest. Okay. But on top of that, okay, besides the physical copies, okay, you may want to save on your phone lah. Later on, if you are asked on the spot and then you have run out of your CV, you can easily forward your CV to the person who is asking for your resume or CV. Now, the next tip or the next thing that you need to do, I would say, is to research participating companies. So on that day, okay, if you go there without doing your homework, okay, you may lose some brownie points. So imagine you go to, for instance, Huawei, without knowing what Huawei does and what's the core business of Huawei. Okay, you go there and then you ask them blindly, what's your core business? What do you do? That will make you lose, okay, the edge over someone who has knowledge over what the core business of the company is. Kan? So you must check out the list of participating employers, which we will announce soon on our website and also our social media, on our LinkedIn, on our IG. Okay, you'll be able to see the full list of participating employers. So yeah, take note of the employers, okay, and then you identify your top 10 target companies. So because you won't be able to visit all the booths, kan? It will be say you spend 20 minutes per booth. Okay, imagine if you visit all 80 booths, you will not be able to finish visiting all the booths. And bear in mind as well, okay, the area, the venue could be quite packed. So you may not be able to go to all the booths that you have targeted lah. But at least if you have a list of 10, you can go. If you cannot go to number 1, you go to number 10 first, kan? At least you have identified your top 10 target companies. Then, okay, when you do your homework, what kind of things do you need to research beforehand? So you learn about their businesses. So Huawei, what's the core business? What do they do, kan? What business are they in? What are their core values? Okay, PayNet, for instance, or they want someone who is aspiring, for instance, someone who is versatile, for instance. So if you know the core values of the company, you will be able to suit yourself, kan, to the company when you go there to impress them. Okay. And then it is advisable as well for you to explore on their website what kind of job openings available. Okay, so that you know, oh, this is my field. Maybe the opening is something which is quite different, but I just want to go there and check if my qualification, my program, my academic program is accepted for this particular job opening. Maybe the job opening is something that you like or you have interest in. Okay. The next one will be, okay, this is quite important. Have you heard of elevator pitch before? Okay. Before going there, you should craft a 30 to 60 second self-introduction, because on the spot, you may be asked to introduce yourself. Okay, normally, that's the first question that any interviewers will ask you. It can be a job interview, it can be a scholarship interview, it can be a Anugerah Diraja interview, but normally you'll be asked to introduce yourself. So before going to Job Fest, and also this is very, I would say, beneficial if you do it now for any types of interview in the future, craft a 30 to 60 second self-introduction. You buat tu. About yourself, okay, make a script about yourself and practice. Highlight your background, your skills, and what type of role you're seeking. Okay, your background meaning your current, okay, it must start from the current to the things that you did in the past. So normally you would highlight that you are, for instance, a final year student of Bachelor of Accounting at the faculty of so and so. You are holding the post of OY and you have excellent communication skills, having moderated 5 forums before, something like that. Okay, so highlight your background, meaning your program of study, the skills that you have, your communication skill, your leadership, your teamwork, and also what type of what type of role you're seeking. Maybe it's data analyst, maybe as a HR, human resource, or whatever lah, what type of you're seeking, or it could be apa lagi, business kan, business admin or accounts manager, could be like that. Okay, identify what role you're seeking. Okay, and practice. Now, it's one thing to craft meaning to tulis lah, to craft your own self-introduction. You must also practice your elevator pitch. Okay, practice so that you sound confident and also natural. You don't want it to be something yang macam nampak, oh budak ni hafal. No. Okay, make it sound as natural as possible. Because it's about yourself, you must be confident. You must have that eye contact when you pitch yourself to another person kan. And you practice until you can cite your elevator pitch in your sleep. Orang kata kalau mimpi pun you akan cakap benda tu, nama saya siapa, I'm from what. Everything must be ready. When someone triggers the question, tell me about yourself. Next. Now, this is important to stress among yourself, for me to highlight this point. Okay, please dress up properly. So on that day itself, on Job Fest, when you go there, dress to impress. And this tip is true not only for UM tau. Internationally, I've seen before coming up with this presentation or this slide, I have done my homework. I've looked at other universities punya career fair preparation, and this is something that they tell their students. You must dress to impress, okay? Because first impressions matter. The recruiter will look at you, and within the 10 seconds, not even 10 seconds, within the 2-3 seconds they see you, they will form an impression of yourself. Okay, so if you go there wearing, for instance, slippers, wearing jeans, koyak pula tu, what will that tell them about you kan? It will tell them that you lack professionalism. Okay, at least wear something decent. Okay, no t-shirts. Okay, business formal, smart casual is recommended. I know it's very hot in Malaysia, so you don't have to wear your jacket. No, it's okay, it's fine. But for guys, at least you wear a collar t-shirt, collar t-shirt. If it's not long sleeve, something that is not wrinkle kan, janganlah pakai yang berkedut-kedut. For ladies, make sure your tudung matches your outfit. For instance, for Malay girls, for non-Malay girls, wear something decent, not too revealing maybe. You want to look professional, you want to look presentable, right? Now, having said this, okay, we have class tomorrow, a workshop tomorrow on grooming. So if you would like to know more about how to groom yourself, because this knowledge, you may take it until you work, kan? So you may come to our workshop tomorrow. It's titled Groom to Boom. It's 10 to 1 o'clock tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. So please come there if you are not confident about your image and about your presentation, your self-presentation. Now, another tip would be, because on that day we don't know what the hiring managers or the recruiters, how they react when they see you. They may, if they are impressed with you, they may conduct on the spot interview. So get ready for that. Get ready for any kind of surprise, any kind of surprises for that day. So if you impress them, or if they say, oh, this person or this student has got potential, they want to know more about you. So they may decide to interview you on the spot. Some employers may conduct walk-in interviews as well. Okay, so be mentally prepared. Don't be so blur tomorrow. Okay, but at least have these questions before going there. Have these questions in your mind. They may ask you. The first question is, tell me about yourself just now. The elevator pitch just now, the 30 seconds to 60 second dialogue, not dialogue, a script too about yourself too. Be prepared with that. Okay, the second one is, they may ask you, why do you want to join our company? Why do you want to join Maybank? Why do you want to join CIMB? Why do you want to join PwC? Why do you want to join MODAC, for instance? You must be ready with the answer. And if you want to stand out, from other students, from other candidates. Okay, it must not something yang standard, such as I want to learn, I want to contribute to your company. No. Okay, you must study first what role you want to fill or you want to apply. Okay, then you suit yourself in that role, telling them what's so special about you that you are confident that you can carry out the tasks and the functions required from that role. And to do that, you should be able to identify your strengths and weaknesses. That is something else. That's another question that the employers may ask you on that day. Like, tell me about yourself. Tell me about some of your strengths. Do you have any weaknesses? And nobody has no weakness. Of course, everybody has weaknesses. Okay? So have a sit down and really think about this. Buatlah satu list. Do a list. What are some of your strengths? What are some of your weaknesses? What are the strengths that you want to highlight to someone, to a potential employer, hiring manager? What kind of weakness that you want to tell them, which does not reveal that you are so weak lah. But still, you want to tell them, I am human, kan? I have this weakness, but I'm trying to overcome the weakness. Or this weakness can be turned into a strength, kan? So you think about that first, yeah? Then, okay, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years? So this is also a favorite question of HR manager, of your potential employers, or recruiters. They suka soalan, they like these questions because they want to see your planning tu, your level of planning, your maturity. Okay, maturity maknanya you punya kematangan, kan? So these 4 questions are the favorite questions that you, okay, before going to job fair, sit down, have a list. Bukan nak suruh hafal. I'm not asking you to memorize, but I want you to be prepared. If they ask you these questions or any other questions that sound the same, at least you have thought about this before going to the job fest. Okay, so next one is, okay, bring supporting documents. The supporting documents could be photocopies of your certificates, kan, your SPM, kena SPM tu ni lah, maybe your transcripts, important transcripts, certificates meaning any additional skills that you obtained in UM, for instance, Power BI ke, it could be a training that you did with one of the companies outside ke. So bring all those certificates, your academic transcripts, and if you have a portfolio, bring it together with you. Okay, in a very neat punya file lah, photocopies. Then don't forget, going there you must bring the standard identification documents lah, IC, student card, itu semua basic. But don't be surprised if there are some students they walk around without their IC. Kan, so tiba nanti recruiter minta because they want to verify something you don't have, kan. So we don't want that to happen lah. So you must be prepared with all these supporting documents. Next one is ni pun pergi sana, when you go to the job fest, you want to give them the impression that you are interested, that you are a go-getter, that you are a positive person, you are a proactive person. So you show this attitude. Must have that. Janganlah takut-takut. If you are an introvert, for instance, adalah even there's one tip, career fair for introverts. But on that day, pretend that you are not an introvert. No, going there, you must have this aim, okay? This is job fest. I want to promote myself. So I will pendamkan. I will just cover all my shyness, all my awkwardness, all my perasaan yang tak best tu. I will cover that and I will pretend. I will be my best self during the job fest. You approach the company booth confidently. Smile, okay? Have a positive body language. Macam mana nak tahu body language Dr. Has? Body language tu datanglah grooming punya workshop tomorrow kalau sempat lah. If not, you know that if you come with there's a certain way of behavior that when people see you, oh ini orang yang positif. Or if they say you, oh ini orang yang negatif. For instance, if you cross your arms, kan, itu nampak negatif, itu nampak very close, kan. Tak nampak someone who is approachable. Smile. Don't frown. Smile saja. Buat muka confident. Approach the company booth confidently and then shoulders back, kan. Head orang selalu cek macam tu. Shoulders back, kan. Smile. Jumpa dengan positif. senyum dulu, for instance. Or if you are Muslim, bagi salam dulu, for instance, if the other person is Muslim as well. Say hi, apa khabar, for instance. If you are afraid, it's normal. It's normal to feel nervous, okay? But okay, on that day, you must know that the employers are as keen to meet you as you are keen to meet them. Sama saja. You semua nak jumpa dia, dia pun nak jumpa you tau. So you must go there dengan perasaan yang, oh, dia akan accept you. Dia akan terima you, dia akan jawab your questions. Okay? So don't be afraid. Ask insightful questions about job roles and career progression. Don't be afraid about this. Tanya dia, so macam mana dengan this particular role that I saw in the website that I'm interested in, macam mana after that, what will be my career progression if I start with this? Yeah, how many years will I stay in this role until I get promoted? Those questions are okay. Do not ask them yet. This is not the time. This is not the time or place for you to ask about gaji. I don't think so. Once you know them, because this is your initial approach, your initial punya pertemuan tau dengan orang from that company. So you don't want to give them an impression that you, for instance, you look for that is your bottom line, duit tu, the gaji is your bottom line. That's not your bottom line. Your bottom line now, you have to tell them that it's a role in the company that I am interested in. The values of the company align with my values. Okay, saya rasa saya boleh contribute pada company ini sebab kita ada values yang sama. Therefore, I would like to know more about this role from you. And if I get this role, what would be the career progression? Because getting the job, the first job or the job with your company is one thing, but I want to know where after that. Where do I go after that? So if you show them this kind of attitude, this kind of thinking ahead, this kind of planning ahead, dia berkata, oh, ni bagus ni, sebab dia jenis merancang tau. So that is an impression that you want to give them. As I said before, don't be shy. Tak perlu malu pun. Even though you feel that you are an introvert, you rasa you tak cantik hari tu. Pakailah lipstick kan. That's why you have to go to our grooming class. How to serlahkan, how to make yourself the best version of yourself. Kan? So on that day, don't be shy. Okay, know that they welcome you, the employers welcome you, or the recruiters welcome you. They appreciate proactive candidates. You must approach them. Kadang-kadang tu you duduk jauh-jauh, you shy kan. You senyum-senyum kat dia, lama dia nak nampak you tau. Okay, but what you have to do is go straight. Smile, shoulders back, pergi approach dia. Good morning, good afternoon. Hi, my name is the elevator pitch just now. My name is Azizul bin Hadi. I am a second year student. Oh, I'm a final year student from the faculty. I'm doing a bachelor. I'm going to intern in. So, do you have any role that is related to macam tu? That's the way that you sell yourself. Okay, positive and proactive. Now, another reason or another benefit of JobFest is it allows you to network with not only the employer, not only the people at the booth, but also with other visitors. Because the visitors who come may be students, but it also be people from industry who are interested. Dia datang situ, introduce yourself. You never know. So network lah hari itu. You must network. Again, using how to use TikTok for JobFest. So the first one is how to use ChatGPT for elevator pitch just now. So for some of you, writing a script about yourself, you don't have any problem with that. With eyes closed, you can do that, kan? You can do that easily. Ini especially for people who like to read or people from language or linguistics background. They love that. From arts, they love that. Okay, but some people, it may come a bit harder lah. It may be quite difficult for them to write a script or think about a short script about themselves. So, kita gunakan ChatGPT. We use ChatGPT for the elevator pitch. Now, this is a prompt that I tried. Okay, You may pause this video and you may copy this, but after this, you may want to tweak. You may want to tweak according to what suits you, what suits your major or what suits your program. So you're a final year university student, craft a 1-minute elevator pitch. So it can be craft a 30-second elevator pitch as well, because 1 minute is too long. 1 minute is too long. To be used when approaching for potential employers at a career fair. Make the pitch as natural. So don't forget about this. your pitch to be as detailed as possible, right? So in my prompt, I put there, make the pitch as natural as possible, use a Malaysian speaking tone. Kita tak nak lah kita punya script tu nanti bunyi macam UK, macam like Queen's English, right? We don't want it to be unnatural. So make the pitch as natural as possible. So you put your details. So there I put a name, and final year, So I put there what I did during my study here, class rep for 2 semesters, for instance, or volunteer for whatever. So you put there whatever your achievements that you want to highlight in your elevator pitch, and this is the result. Very long. So very long. And it sounds very unnatural. Hi, Assalamualaikum, good morning. Nobody speaks like that. My name is Maisara binti Johan. I'm currently in my final year. Very unnatural, but it's good for a first draft because it sounds more Malaysian, something like that. So you put that as one of the prompts. You fine tune until you are comfortable with the script, and then you practice. You memorize the script and you make it sound. You practice in front of the mirror or your handphone. Actually, that's better. I think a better tip would be to record yourself. Record yourself doing the elevator pitch, and then rewatch yourself. Quick. So I think this is a good tip. Okay, how to use ChatGPT for elevator pitch. The second cheat code is this. Okay, you can use ChatGPT to fine tune your resume. Now, I'm very sure all students are familiar with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT allows you to upload documents, betul. So you upload your your CV, just not the long one. If you're not sure, or you upload your resume or whatever, okay, then you can ask either the issue. It could be something that you are unsure. Okay, you need feedback on your resume, for instance. We do have a resume clinic actually on tomorrow as well, 29 afternoon. So that is 2:30 p.m. until 4 p.m. tomorrow. So tomorrow, either you come here to KPS Block D for boost for someone from outside, someone from industry who will check your resume for you, and the person can suggest improvements to you, how to make your resume better, kan? How to address the gaps. Itu tomorrow lah. But say you cannot come to tomorrow's resume clinic, that's fine. Go to ChatGPT, upload your not upload yet, attach your resume or your CV, and you can easily ask the ChatGPT to do these things. One, if you need any feedback on the resume, so this is the suggested prompt that you may key in. Pretend you are a recruiter. Analyze my resume and tell me exactly which part. So that the ChatGPT can tell you where to strengthen, or where to highlight later on, which parts are strong. If ChatGPT is able to tell you, this is your strength actually, so you will be able to use that as your elevator pitch, for instance. Or you can use that part of your resume to highlight when you meet the recruiter on job fest itself. Nampak tak? So something that you may not be aware of, but ChatGPT can easily point out to you, this part is weak, so don't really highlight. I will try to improve for you. But this part is strong, so that's where you will highlight during your meeting with the hiring manager or the recruiter. Where I am losing attention, meaning mana you membebel yang ia tak ada makna, no meaning to your resume. So those parts may be taken out, because sometimes, people, I am also not an expert, so all of us may not be an expert. So maybe we put things in our resume or CV that are irrelevant tau. Tak ada makna. If you take it out, it doesn't take away from your resume at all. So that is where ChatGPT can tell you, ini tak ada makna, so get it out. Okay. Give brutally honest feedback to improve my chances of getting interview. Boleh juga. Okay. If a person gives you feedback, sometimes the person tapis, the person measure dia punya words kan, don't want to hurt you lah kan. So may not give you an honest punya feedback on your resume, or actually you ni tak cukup lagi to minta kerja dekat PwC actually. So if it's ChatGPT, it will be able to do that, brutally honest. Why? Because to improve your chances of getting interviews. Say your resume is quite weak, but ChatGPT will be able to highlight ini your strength, so that you can use that for you, not against you, for you. Now, what if you got a CV the long one, CV everything, all your achievements, sekolah lah, apa benda, what you do every semester kan, you don't know how to reduce, the 10 pages into 2 pages, right? Pages is your resume, 10 pages pages your CV. So you don't know how to reduce the 10 pages into 2 pages. You got your CV, but you haven't got your resume yet. During the job fest, you don't bring your resume. The 15 copies just now is not your it's not your CV. It's your resume. Mesti bawa resume. Resume the shorter one, the 2 pages one. The summary of who you are, kan, of yourself, of your academic background, of your professional experience. Itu resume. So you don't have that. It's fine. Okay. Again, you upload your CV. Then your prompt generate a 2-page resume for this uploaded CV. The CV must be so use this word ATS. Yeah. So for resumes, okay, resumes later on, if you send your resumes to employers, they will run it through this machine, this machine or this software, okay, which has the ATS, applicant tracking system. The ATS, whatever resumes that don't meet their standards, that don't meet their formats, they will just buang. So you want the machine to recognize that your resume is ATS friendly. So ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. You boleh guna ini. So this is quite a good prompt juga for you to use. The CV must be Applicant Tracking System friendly. But if you put there ATS, ChatGPT will understand. Dia faham juga. I put the Applicant Tracking System because I want you to understand apa ATS stands for. Now, next one is what if your resume tak cantik. Tahu, sometimes people punya resume ada gap. So, if you have gaps in your resume, okay, you may use this prompt. Review my resume and remove or rephrase anything that could raise red flags for recruiters in apa. So, what's the industry lah, or what's the recruiters in electrical engineering, recruiters in data analytics, for instance, recruiters in consultancy, for instance, in accounting, whatever lah. So, just put the industry or the company's name. Focus on gaps, short stints, or outdated skills and help me frame them positively. So maybe, okay, for instance, for computer science students, kan, computer science students, you know that currently outside, kan, they don't look at Python anymore. Sebenarnya Java tu dah lama, kan, Java dah lama. So Python is quite recent, but actually there's a more recent one lah, programming language. So kata you tak tahu tau yang programming language tu. So ChatGPT may tell them that you are an intermediate level student or whatever lah, depending on your resume just now. The ChatGPT will highlight for you apa yang you ada separuh tadi tu, what you have partially, and frame dan write it in a way that gives off a positive vibe, a positive punya impression rather than negative. Bukan tak ada separuh saja, for instance. Okay, so if this is good for people yang macam tak banyak sangat dia punya curriculum, for instance. Tapi itulah, you still have time, kan? So you have 15 days to do something, to do something before you go for job fest. Now, if you are unsure if the resume is ATS friendly or not, so the prompt is rewrite my resume using ATS friendly formatting and keywords for what's the role for data analytics, for electrical engineering, for oil and gas, and whatever lah. So make sure it has a high chance of getting through automated systems and landing on recruiters' desk. You are telling ChatGPT, make sure my resume tu at least okay, gets on the hand of recruiters walaupun saya tak dapat kerja. So make sure it has a high chance of getting through automated systems. Now, the thing about ChatGPT, I'm very sure you guys know this, you have to be very, very particular in order for you to get the outcome that you desire, kan? Macam tu ayat dia. So you mestilah gunakan prompt yang betul. I must use the correct prompt. Use ChatGPT to your advantage. Okay? Matching meaning like this. So I'm very sure all you guys have LinkedIn already. Siapa yang tak ada LinkedIn, please create your LinkedIn profile now, because I'm telling you, LinkedIn is the best way for the recruiter, okay, to connect with you is one thing. So you do that. But going back to LinkedIn just now, okay, your about section, your headline is very important. Very important nowadays. Okay, you are we're talking about you having to compete not only with your classmates to get certain positions in your field, but also, okay, students or graduates from other universities, and not just local universities, but also from international university, the Malaysians yang belajar dekat UK, dekat US, dekat Australia, dekat European countries who come back to Malaysia to get jobs kan, you are also competing with them. So how will you ensure that you have an edge ataupun satu benefit, satu advantage over them? Inilah LinkedIn lah. You don't pandang sebelah mata. You don't overlook the benefit of having a good LinkedIn profile, because nowadays the recruiters, they look at your LinkedIn sebenarnya to complement your resume. Faham tak? Faham lah. Hopefully semua orang ada LinkedIn. If you are not sure, first of all you must create dulu LinkedIn profile. After that, there are loads of material on how to create LinkedIn profile. And after creating your LinkedIn profile, you go seek your lecturers. You connect with um.gecc, for instance. That's also where you get information on career programs kan. Contohnya banyak materials available online and for free. Finally, if you need a perfect summary of the resume, in case of just now the online interview, when they ask you what's your weaknesses, what's your strengths, ini dia. Okay, write a compelling professional summary for resume targeting what roles? Targeting data analytics roles, targeting engineering roles, accounting roles. Highlight my top 3 strengths, years of experience if you have lah, years of experience, and what makes me stand out from other candidates. Ini bagus tau. Because as I said just now, competition is very stiff. So you want to make sure that you stand out. You want to make sure that you wow. Ni tadi you want to wow the recruiter or you want to wow the hiring manager during job fest. Okay. So come prepared. So how to prepare yourself besides doing your own preparation? Use ChatGPT to help you. Okay. But again, you tell ChatGPT, keep it concise but powerful because you want the summary to sound natural. Just now tak nak panjang sangat kan. Now, so this is what a resume looks like. Okay, an ATS friendly. The applicant tracking system just now. So this is very plain. Buat macam ni. You don't have to. Jangan please. Do not use fancy fonts. Do not use fancy decorations as well. Make it plain as this. This is what ATS likes. Ini apa yang sistem suka. Okay, dia suka simple. First of all, you put your name on top. Name, also your contact number lah, your email, okay, number. IC masuk tak? No. IC jangan masuk. Address? No. Gender? No. Foto? No. Kan ada orang kata letak gambar semua kan? Tak boleh, jangan letak dulu. Not at this stage. Tak perlu letak gambar. So that's why lah, how if there's no picture of you, macam mana? How do you make sure that the recruiter remembers you kan? Esok, lusa. So there's a trick or there's a tip to make sure that the recruiter or the hiring manager remembers you daripada 4,000 orang tadi tu, from thousands, from hundreds of visitors to dia punya booth kan. How to make sure that you stand out nanti bawah-bawah. Now, so this is what a resume looks like, an ATS friendly resume. So normally ada very plain, your name, your email, your contact number, no address, no IC, okay, no photos, education. So education, you put your most recent one. So, if you now you are at third year, so you put lah there. Third year kan, student adalah Bachelor of Accounting, Bachelor of Quantity Surveying, Bachelor of Nursing, whatever lah, what year kan. And then after that, the second most recent one. So your matriculation, for instance, your STPM, for instance, stop there. Tak perlu sekolah menengah, tak payah SPM. SPM tu all news already. People don't want to know. So just put there your current one and also maybe your matriculation or your asasi, your STPM dah. Full stop. Yeah, 2 saja. Then if you have a diploma, then put your diploma. So you have your degree and then you have your diploma. Full stop. Cukup. Jangan panjang-panjang. Then technical skills that you have, okay? Technical skills. So it's good. For engineering students, for computer science students, this may not be hard for you lah. May not be difficult for you. Ini senang saja you guys. You have your technical skills. But for non-science, non-STEM students, you carilah point. You carilah technical skills that you have. It may be Excel. It may be Power BI. It may be PowerPoint. It may be Microsoft 365. Put it there. Masuk sana. That's why for non-STEM students, okay, it is advisable for you guys. You still have time. It is very advisable for you guys to top up, to upskill yourself. Upskill yourself. There's many free punya certificate courses nowadays. Pergi saja. Otherwise kat GECC pun kita ada juga. Or, okay, mark your calendar. 16 to 21st June this year, ni lambat lagi lah, 16 to 21st June, there will be National Training Week by KESUMA, Kementerian Sumber Manusia. You join that sebab dia akan bagi you free certificates. Nanti you boleh upgrade your CV or your resume. Okay, 16 to 21st. You can choose whatever course yang free because besides the free courses, there are also you must pay adalah some paid courses like RM60, RM100. Kalau tak nak bayar, janganlah masuk yang bayar tu. So you take the free ones. And the courses may be online, and also may be physical. So depending on which courses you register for. Professional experience pun letak situ. Professional experience. Oh, Dr. Has, I tak pernah kerja lagi. So apa tu? Saya tak ada professional experience lah. No. Professional experience does not mean job experience. Itu lain. Professional experience means you ada experience tak membuat kerja walaupun tanpa upah. For instance, you tolong your society, you tolong your lecturer, you tolong your persatuan penduduk, for instance, kat itu semua professional experience because you have office experience, you can put it there. So don't it's good for you to have job experience, tapi don't make lack of job experience something yang put you down. It's something yang you rasa down, you're depressed. Tak perlu because as long as you have worker experience and make a write it in such a way that it highlights your contribution or your skill, your output tu. Bukan wait berapa dapat, bukan. We don't want to be like that. So that can be put it there. That can be turned into professional experience just now. Then kalau ada volunteer pun boleh juga letak volunteer, others lah, maybe others, certifications apa, what you have where during your studies, put it there as well. Now the do's ni, make easy to read and follow. So maknanya dia ada skill, dia ada the format tu. Name is always on the top, so name is not at the back, for instance. And then education, so you have bold or capital letters, make it easy to read and follow. And you describe, not just list. I remember what I said just now, in your professional experience, you don't put there, kerani di pejabat so and so untuk 5 bulan. No, you don't stop there. You describe. You punya tugas, your task as clerk just now involves what? Handling RM20,000 per month. That shows that you are someone trustworthy, So highlight apa yang you lakukan, bukan your kerja tu. So in charge of handling 12 trainees, for instance. So something like that. That shows your responsibility, that shows your ability. Showcase your responsibility and ability. Bukan kerani kewangan. Setiausaha persatuan. Don't stop there. You describe what you do, your contribution just now. The format must be consistent in terms of fontnya sama. So if you highlight the heading, if you bold the headings, you bold all the headings, macam tu contoh. And then list headings in order of importance. Of course, your name is on top. Most recent first. Recent meaning just now the education tu, apa yang sekarang ni yang dulu. Okay. Final tips for job fest. Okay, get enough rest the night before. You want to be your best self. You want to be able to clearly answer the questions being asked, or you want to be clearly pitch yourself to the elevator pitch just now. So if you tidur pukul 2 malam tu, if you tidur pukul 3, tidur pukul 4, how fresh are you? When you go to the job fest, you meet different employees or different HR recruiters kan. So get enough rest the night before. Take this seriously. Okay. Stay hydrated and bring bawa air lah as usual. If you go to class also, you drink water, right? So stay hydrated. Bring a notebook or your phone for jotting down important info during the job fest. Itu pun penting juga. Sometimes, okay, one of the things that your generation or your age punya range kan tend to do is you catat everything in your phone. Okay, fine, but what if your phone runs out of battery kan? Or what if whatever reason you cannot get out your phone, notebook, physical notebook tu. Kena ada juga kecil ke, pen and also notebook, please. iPad ke, whatever lah, as long as you bring something to take down notes. Okay. Then, okay, please, this one also, please follow our social media for updates. For instance, the list of names for all the employers who are going to open their booths during Ojek Fest tu. Nak tengok siapa yang pull out. Oh, ini lagi best. Any VIPs that day, you never know. So far, okay, we have international companies, international organizations. Hong Kong Talent Engage are very passionate or very aggressive in recruiting Malaysian, not just Malaysian, UM graduates. So we are having a talk with them, and dia datang nanti dia nak bawa token juga, token meaning some gifts, small gifts. So if you follow us on social media, you know about this, because that's a way for us to let you know. That's a way for the information to get to you kan. So follow our social media for any updates, for any job openings. Sometimes kan on our LinkedIn, we share information about job openings. It's people from other universities that got the information, other than UM students. So itu something that we cannot prevent other people from looking at our LinkedIn. But if other people are benefiting from our LinkedIn, from our IG, why not UM students? So follow us. Kita bukan nak popular. We want you guys to have this information about the latest opening and good openings as well. Bukan kerja yang gaji rendah-rendah tau. Nanti orang lain dapat information. And also company highlights. For instance, if we take our students for industry visit, we had this morning a visit at Cognizant. Tahu Cognizant tu apa? It's a very big company, multinational company dekat apa nama tu, as KL Central. We brought 10 students. Actually, we were meant to bring 15, but some people pull out in the last minute. It's fine. So 10 students who got good mentorship from people at Cognizant who will groom that. Groom tu maknanya akan jaga dia, akan tengok resume dia, akan make sure dia dapat kerja. Itu yang you all sepatutnya look for that. So we always do these career programs that somehow didn't get the information to you. You lose the information. Kita tak mau. So that's why follow our social media for this. Now, this is my tip on how for you to get yourself remembered by the recruiters. Within 24 hours, ini sangat penting, sangat crucial. Find time. Dalam masa 24 jam, balik saja ke rumah, balik KK, balik ke faculty, send a short email or message to them. Dia mesti dalam masa terdekat, not the next week, not the weekend, bukan, within 24 hours of meeting them. Okay? Lagi bagus, during the meeting you ask them, what's your LinkedIn? Can we connect? Do that. Tapi kalau if that's not possible, because so many people coming to the job fest, within 24 hours, okay, you send a short email, short message to them, short WhatsApp, or if you have their number, or on LinkedIn you are connected, send them a message on LinkedIn. Thank them. Terima kasih. Thank you, Mr. So-and-so. Thank you, Miss So-and-so. It was nice meeting you. I was really fascinated by the information that you shared with me. By the way, I am the person who blah, blah, blah. Mesti ada something during your meeting with them. Make sure they remember you. Maybe it's your nickname. You just tell them, oh, my name is Syed so-and-so, but people call me Yit or something like that. But no. It's funny, it's endearing. Walaupun dia sedikit tidak professional, tapi dia funny, so that person may remember you. Oh, I'm the person who wore the flower button. I'm the person who wore who had the red sneakers on that you commented, something like that. Within 24 hours, because you want them to remember you. Okay, if you don't require info on internship or vacancy, you may go to job fest to inquire about internship, or you may go there to kalau you dah buat internship before, because some engineering students final year, you have already done your internship, so you want to know about vacancy. So if you don't get the information about vacancy, ask them about it. Tanya dia. So just to recap what we discussed, which we didn't manage to finish. Okay, can you explain to me about da? Can you tell me more about da? Can you tell me where to get information about da? But if you got the info during job fest, you tell them, okay, I'm going to, per our conversation during job fest, I'm going to fill in the application form on the website. Thank you for the tip, something like that. So this is very crucial. Okay, find time within 24 hours to send this message to them. Okay, so this is our social media. Please follow us. So you just simply on LinkedIn or IG, our handle ke apa nama dia um.gacc. Okay, banyak information kat sini, vacancies, field trips ataupun industry visit, apa lagi social program, mentorship, workshops, kita buat banyak ya. So all this information are available on our IG and also our LinkedIn. Okay, coming soon. InsyaAllah in the future we are trying to subscribe software or a system which allows us to be in touch with all students of UM. That one takes time. So what's available now is IG and also LinkedIn. Itu pun please connect with us. UM graduates quality memang tinggi. UM name opens doors, but it's up to you to walk through the door. Tak faham tak? Kita dah open the door for you. Kata kat situ UM is employee's choice according to Talent Bank. Kita menang banyak award, but it doesn't it means nothing if you guys are not able to get good jobs or premium jobs in the market, because the jobs that you aim for that you got your first job will lead to a good career. Job and career are two different things. We want you to be able to get a very good first job, and after that, from the first job, you'll be able to have a career progression that leads you to have a very nice career. Nak career yang memberikan you capai you punya full potential. Okay, so in order for you to get a good job, you must get a good internship as well. So again, good internship leads to a good job. The good first job will lead you to a good career. So that's all from me. I hope to see you, okay, during our job fest. So mark your calendar, please. You dah dapat exemption, okay, from VC, okay. Ada satu surat tu, 14 and 15 of May. Come and join us at DTC. Okay, either the whole day, the whole 2 days, or 1 hour every day. Okay, so I will see you. Bye-bye, and thank you for joining us for this talk.